I've seen the iron used in a couple of ways already. We've used it upright as a regular iron, and we've used it as a mini hot plate. But now I want to show you how to use it on its edge as a bulldozer. So I'm going to turn it down on here and just push it forwards. I'll sweep round so you can see the edge then. I'll just go right off the card there, and you can see the trail it makes. So let's do a little bit more of that. Bulldozing with the iron. And you can see the effects are quite different. This card is absorbent paper, so the wax goes into the surface here and can't be moved around very easily, so use your light colours first. So the wax has to be quite liquid on this iron. Just push gently like a bulldozer, leaving a trail that sinks into the watercolour paper. And the results can be amazing. So the wax is dribbling down the surface of the iron, and you're pushing it along gently, a little puddle just in front of the edge there, like a bulldozer. Keep the edge firmly pressed down onto the card, and don't be worried to go right off the card. This one's a bit like a landscape now. The iron is just one way of melting wax. There are lots of other ways of heating the wax to melt it. So we've used the iron. This is a stylus, and I just want to show you very swiftly what it does. When you touch the point into the wax, it melts. So when you touch the point into the wax, it melts, and it fills up this little groove that you can just see there, which is a split between the top and the bottom of the nib. And then once you've done that, you can draw with it. It makes lines, fill up again, and spots. So whatever you could do with a pen, you can do with this. Another way of using the stylus is to flick. I'm just splattering some drops on here, flicking them off the end of the tip. And now I'm going to iron over that with the bulldozer effect. So put the colouring bands as normal, and then turn the iron onto its edge and press quite hard down and move forwards, bulldozing over the scribbles and splodges that I did with the stylus. And now you can see that the yellow is still here and shows up strongly because it saturated the paper first. So the yellow's gone into the fabric of the watercolour paper, and the other colours have to ride over the top of it. So whatever colour you put on first is the one that's going to sink into the paper. And the results of this can be really exciting. When you're loading, the bands of colour can only come off the straight edge part of the iron here, so there's no point in loading the front triangle. And when you're applying, you can move the iron in different forms. Here I'm making a long wiggly trail. And then just work around the edges, filling up the card. Put more wax onto the iron as you need to. You might want to clean it in between as well. Of course, you can also use a stylus to add detail. Back on my spirals again. Remember, in watercolour paper and any other absorbent paper, the wax sinks into the surface. So the first colour that you apply saturates the surface, it colours the surface, it dirties the surface. So put your lighter colours on first and then work over with the darker ones. And you can always use the stylus to add in detail.